Welcome, Aries. Welcome to your August reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Aries, while I was meditating, I wanted to sort of pre-meditate for your energy. Tune in, see what kind of messages came in, want to come true for you guys, because there's a little bit of a blank page energy. And first and foremost, I thought, okay, so, that might be because we are really obviously in middle of a retrograde season, and so this might be a little bit of a blank page where there's space being created for things to come back, and mentally, physically, emotionally. But it wasn't that. It was more because it was like this dominating energy of sort of a feeling in a loophole that I was getting. And what I kept hearing was, I knew something was off. I knew something was off. That's what I keep hearing. So I don't know if some of you recognize yourself in that. Like you just knew something was off. And I feel like during this month of August, like you're going to really have someone exposure themselves to you, or you already have had that happen, and now you're kind of sort of dealing with the the aftermath of having a realization like that, or having truth like that exposed to you guys. So that's just what I'm feeling. So I'm sitting a little bit with that energy, because at the same time, having this full moon in Aquarius on the 1st is in your 11th house. So this definitely could be in connection to, okay, I'm getting really strong messages through. Oh, these readings are just so intense, because it's really energetically like a very loaded, like an energetic loaded month. So I'm just gonna go with it. All right, just bear with me. You might actually get some real tea out here. I'm serving tea. Okay. So for some of you, this might be connection to the person you may have used to date or are dating. This doesn't have to be. I just want to explain that for some of you, I'm really sensing that this might be it. And then their friends. So the friends of the people that you may are seeing, or actually are in a serious connection with. Like there's something off with one of their connection, like one of their friends. And maybe you discover that, oh, they used to be more than friends, and that person like wasn't completely honest about that. Maybe that person actually comes forward and expresses their feelings towards your person. Or it's just something off, something shady, something going on behind the scenes. Like you think it's a friend, but it's not a friend. So this also could be connected to you. Maybe you think like some person is your friend, but actually that person is just really like, trying to stay close to you because they kind of want to be you. And so the first chance they got to step on your back or on your neck and elevate themselves, they will take that chance. Of course, nobody wants to go through that, but at the same time, it is always a blessing when somebody finally decides to show their true colors, and so you can, based on that and that truth, make decisions about moving forward and not having another person on your, train basically for the next like 6-7 years when they weren't ever trustworthy on that level. So having those moments, those realizations, really seeing almost like in a crystal ball, it's like that, seeing a vision, seeing it play out, finding, I don't know, some evidence or something may find you this month. This could definitely also be something way more in the past. Like maybe you've been through a connection and you kind of just moved on, and years later, all of a sudden, there's this moment of epiphany. It's like, wait a minute. Lord knows we all had those moments, right? So let's just see. I feel like now I've kind of put that on the table. Maybe we can like move away a little bit from that energy, because we are definitely moving into a more balanced space for you guys. You're moving, we are moving into like your 12th house and your 6th house when it comes to Virgo season, and having a full moon in in Pisces right at the end, in your 12th house for my Aries risings out there. So whatever plays out, whatever happens in this 5th house plus 11th house energy for you guys with these retrogrades and this super full moon that's coming up, I don't want you guys to like trust everything in your life blindly. That doesn't mean that I want to put any level of distrust into you guys, that you should like worry about a person and then it might not be actually the case. It's all about not trusting what you see and what people say over your own intuitive wisdom and over your own feelings, like something's off, I don't know, my skin starts to crawl when I'm around this person, or whatever, like there's just something not sitting with me. All is fine, all is good, but I'm having these type of dreams about this person. Just ask the questions, be open to like see what else is behind what you're the reality that has been playing out. Maybe there is something going on behind the scenes, then it will show itself if you're in an open space to it. And if not, then that's just confirmation that that it is good. And then it's also cleaning out a sort of a space of having this energy of like, I don't know, like something's off. Maybe it's me, maybe it's them, maybe it's it's just being a little bit in the in-between phase is not really a nice space to be in for a long period of time, when you are in and you are committed, but at the same time your heart is sort of pulling out and pulling back and building up this wall of like, what if something happens? So that inner realization and those conversations and certain truths that will show themselves for you guys, Aries. It will guide your way. It will guide you up on your way, because you will just naturally move forward. You naturally make the steps. You naturally adjust to then creating a better space for yourself creatively. I'm hearing creatively, like you need more space creatively to just don't feel so occupied by something. So some of you may have been dealing with a little bit of a writer's block energy. This could be in multiple things, could even like writing an essay or whatever, but it's just a creative space that you come home to, just hasn't really been feeling like an option. It's almost like, we're back in the quarantine situation, and like your special hideaway place, you need to take a flight and fly there, but there are no flights going. There's a hurricane or whatever. Like that's kind of what it feels like. There's this internal space that you actually really heal and really come to a certain peace within yourself, and you can creatively let your energy flow, and with that energy you show up in other people's lives and around you. But I feel like there's been some blockages there, and I feel like you're ready to like release them no matter what, like whatever you need to sort of do in order to have those things be removed, and you just kind of want to come into a place of a center space, home, almost home to yourself. So it is, with having a North Node in your sign, especially if you're Aries rising, but overall, your energy is like really, like the spotlight is really on you guys. It can come with people just acting a little different, and that could be different towards you because of the energy that's shifting towards you. Maybe you are getting more success, or maybe you do need a different level of friendship or connection, bond in your relationship. And maybe that person kind of just feels like, no, I like this balance. Like, why do you want to switch it up all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden you need to talk to me? Why, Then you see like, hey, we've kind of never entered this space, but now we are. And I see like, I always thought that it was totally fine if I ever need it, and now I need it and you're not there. So there's like nothing there. It's like just a vision that you had of what it could be if once you might need it. And based on that, you've kind of built with someone or something. Might be a company you're working for, might be friendship, or just anything, anything we can deal with in life. Doesn't always have to show up in our partner or in our future or past partner. It doesn't always, it comes in multiple ways, but it all intertwines and all connects each other. um, what is important is what is it holding you back from. That's kind of sort of the most important thing, because what do you feel hold back in? What do you feel been taken away from you, or you've been taken away from something that actually is quite important to you, and you've been willing to sacrifice it a little bit, you've been willing to sort of be, you know, flexible and everything. But this could maybe also be, you know, parenthood. Some of you might actually be a child, and you're trying to find ways of maybe coping with it in a different way, where you are still mother, you are still father, you are still parent, but then you can also have things that make you happy, that give you energy, that make you even a better dad or a better mom or a better caretaker or a better grandma, grandfather, you know? It's like, or a better auntie. It's like, auntie, sorry. So having those realizations, because there is a mix of your fifth house in there, you know, because fifth house Leo season that we're in, and Venus being a retrograde in your fifth house, and having a full a new moon on the 16th in your fifth house. There's a lot of, it could be a lot with children. Maybe you always had a very strong child wish, and then the current partner kind of didn't, and you've kind of put it on the back burner, and now it kind of comes forward again much stronger. Or they were like, no, fine, we'll have kids, just not now. And it's kind of been 8 years. You're like, yeah, but if not now, then when? You know, like, my time is ticking out. Just saying. And then having those conversations, and then seeing them exposing what they really truly always felt. That sometimes is intense, but at the same time it puts you much more closer to actually achieving the goal of becoming a parent than if you wouldn't have those conversations and just have a vision of, they said 7 years ago that, you know, they want to have kids, just, you know, in the right timing. But then the timing actually always was sort of the loophole that kept you there. So a lot of channeling, like I said, it's just in the ether. So I can use the cards. Cards are just a tool. But I know you guys like the cards, so I'm just gonna pick up some cards now, okay? But to do these readings, I don't really necessarily need the cards. I love the cards as well, and sometimes definitely I love to just let the cards talk and then something comes through. But overall, you know, I do my readings very intuitive, and if I'm not intuitive, intertwining the connection in the reading, it's not my reading. It's just not the way I read. All right, anyways, enough textbook, let's move forward. What is the message that want to come true for my Aries? Well, it came out very gracefully, actually. Unconditional love. Wow. It says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. Show up from a place of love. Love, compassion, understanding. Yes to your surrounding. Yes to the people that may, you know, actually expose their real truth to you. Show up from a place of grace. Yes, we're stumbling. Yes, something is changing. Yes, it might be uncomfortable, but how can we go about this in an adult way? How can we have the conversations? How can we have this in a constructive way where we can actually move forward and actually change some certain things fundamentally? But first and foremost, show up like that with yourself, with that grace, with that unconditional love. If you can love someone without feeling 100% responsible for their well-being, and you can still love someone, you can still show up, but in a different way. And it's also with a level of entitlement, Aries. Like, a lot of people kind of feel entitled to your energy, and when they don't receive it, you know, you see real quick what type of level of entitlement is attached to that. So yeah, I'm hearing tough cookie. I know you're a tough cookie. Can't manipulate an Aries now. You are a tough cookie. I know you are. You know what you want as well. Like, you know what you want. You know what you like, what you don't like. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay now. What you send out is coming back to you, but let's see what's coming back to you. Okay. There is some level of manipulation here. Something I spoke about during the Cancerian reading last night. Was this energy of someone showing up in a form of an apology, in a form of taking sort of accountability, but actually only coming up with the right words to say in order for that person to feel like, okay, you know, if you put it like that and that's really what happened, then maybe, you know, yeah, I can forgive you, or maybe, you know, we can try again. But just giving the right reason, and whether that's the truth or not, you know, doesn't equal taking responsibility and accountability for hurting someone else's feelings. So I'm just seeing that you really are in your head about something that you worked for, something you invested in, something you deserve based on how much you invest time and energy. And you're just trying to crack the code. You're just trying, like, if I could do this, or I can be that, or if I could say this, or if I say that, then maybe that's the moment where, you know, I can just let go. Maybe it's you feeling guilty about something. I mean, it's a possibility, even if you know, didn't even do anything wrong, but maybe it's a thought pattern that comes and shows up, and that's why you feel guilty. Or maybe it's a feeling you have and you don't want to have this feeling, but it's there and it's like really in your space and you just don't want to have this feeling. Maybe you felt, like I said, like in the beginning, like I can feel something's off, and you might have been in this loop where you think that you're tripping, you feel guilty for even feeling this way or thinking these thoughts about a person. But like I said, the truth will set you free when it comes to this month. Because there's nothing worse when you just feel like something's off so strongly, and this obviously is not for everybody, but everybody's been there at one point. It's nothing worse than feeling like someone showing up with all this love and light and all of that, and you just feel like, I don't feel it's authentic. I don't feel it's real. And I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, why don't I don't feel good about this person. Just something off. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's me. Maybe. And then just having such a different reality show up, but then your instinct just gives you the complete opposite sign. Of course, you're going to first try and find it within yourself. Like, maybe I'm just jealous, or maybe I'm just hurt from the past, and maybe I'm just distrustworthy. Like, you know, I don't trust people easily. It's me. It's my past. It's things. It's a wound. It's a... You know, you tune in with yourself, of course, but you'll find that it's a never-ending loop because it's the truth. Of course, we all just, you know, have some form of like, ooh, you know, a feeling here and there, but then it apps away. It's like, oh well, you know, I guess it was just a moment. I guess I was just tripping for a little bit, and then it goes away. But when it continues to either returns or it stays on, you know that it's not you being like tripping and everything. So I'm sensing that you are capable of picking yourself back up in a new form, new way. Really strong, powerful energy is coming from you. Like, you have the King of Wands, and here you have the beautiful Knight of Cups. Like, you know how to fill your own cup. It's like some of you really are now at a point where you are out of, maybe you've left the connection, left the relationship, and slowly but surely more and more and more you're starting to realize, well, whoa, the emotion manipulation was real. Like, I can see clearly now. The rain has gone, okay? And the thing is, beautiful Aries. I told you you're showing up strong. Now you show up as the Emperor? Well, damn. I love when you guys show up in your as the Emperor in your own reading. Sometimes we have the Fool, you know, it also represents Aries, but then we have the Emperor, okay? It's like, no, I'm not playing no games. It's not about your masculine energy. It's just about feeling of you're back in the driver's seat. Like, you're back in the driver's seat. You don't feel like your life is being lived for you. Like, you know, you kind of feel like, no, I have a say, and I am entitled to moving forward and wanting better for myself and feeling happy and feeling creative and coming home to that center space. Here we go. You have the Nine of Wands. You're willing to put in the work with the Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. It's okay to have boundaries. Just do not, I'm hearing slice up your own cups. Okay. So they want you to go easy on your heart and not try to just force it out. It's like you're working on a level of emotional independence where you feel safe around your own, you know, sensitivity or vulnerability. Start to see that there's a lot of beauty in there and a lot of strength, and it's all about the individuality level to this. Like, you have the understand, no matter what, you can try again. You see, you have someone here with the Nine of Pentacles. And even if you give your all in a relationship, you see, you've given it all, hurt, and try again. See this beautiful garden with these 9 pentacles. And here you have, you know, the Knight of Cups. And then you show up with as the Page of Pentacles. Just understand that everything you need in order to have this flourishing garden is the seeds that you can replant. You see this replanting. You can have that beautiful garden all over again. Understand that you're the holder of that pentacle. That ability to, whatever you want, you can rebuild again. But what you need in order to have that flourish for you is stay connected to your King of Cups. Because you're going to need water. Whatever soil that you want to plant your seeds, you're going to need to bring the water as well. You cannot only show up with the pentacle. You're going to have to stay connected to your emotional sense of self in order to have something that feels fulfilling. Doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in it completely. Because I do feel like you felt like you've kind of pulled on the short end of the stick. But you didn't, because it brought you so much closer to your awareness of your own magic. Like the awareness of, like, no, this is actually, you know, who I am. This is me. This is what I built. This is what I did. Powerful. Okay, Queen of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, something takes a turn for the better. Something just turns around. Well, you already kind of knew that was coming. Look at that. Ace of Wands. Now, if you are if you are in a situation where you're like coming out of a long-term something, maybe you're still connected to that person. And you're like, I've already invested this amount of years, and, you know, I don't think I could find another person who's like this, who knows me like that, or I don't want to get to know another person all over again. I want to get to know them to get to know me. But understand that this Two of Cups is connected to this Knight of Cups. You will find, you've always have the ability to find something again. And the Ace of Wands comes here. It's like you have plenty of opportunities for love. You know. There's only one person in the world that can lay a foundation for each and every relationship in your life, and that is you. So we do need you on this train. If you need to get off the train in order to keep that person on, there's something off about it. That you can flourish in certain aspects of your life because you want to keep that person close to you, is something off. In whatever way, shape, or form. It doesn't necessarily only have to be romantic relationships. But it's just something that you were willing to sacrifice for a situation in your life to flourish. but it could never, no matter how much it flourished, it could never pay up, you know, level to the level of like it being worth sacrificing that side of yourself in your own life, in your own growth. So then you take a closer look at, where am I giving away my magic and my power? What is somebody making me believe that I am not when I'm not with them? And having that deeper understanding, Aries is going to give you exactly what you need. Exactly. And as a new level of like insights brings you also a new level of belief system. You know. Alright, can I get one more card for Aries, please? There we go. You have Sacred Self. Unleash your spirit. Express your gifts. Dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Beautiful. Spread your wings, Aries. Spread those wings. I love it. So if you see a white dove, let's see it as a sign. Understand that might be one of those days where something unravels itself, and that your spirit team is really close and they're guiding you through something like much better. Like this. You and your Emperor throne. 9 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, which you give yourself by actually staying authentic to your wants, your needs, who you are at the core. Not in a selfish way. No, it's about understanding this is what I need. If you have that understanding, you can actually show up as 2 of Cups with your cup. You know, you show up as a cup, you know, the Knight of Cups. So there's someone who also really wants to share that cup with you. And this person, there is a person in your life that has the ability to motivate you. And so you see them as a form of like, no, they want what's best for me and they're motivating me. But they have a sharp tongue, and so it's almost like they cut you here and there in order to heal you. And then there's this power struggle. You give them credit for something that you actually did, but they make you believe that they did that for you, and them being in your life is why you're capable of doing that and being that. Once again, I read that as emotional manipulation. And it has to do with their insecurities, because they feel that if you step into your power, that you no longer need them in order to, you know, be the best version of yourself. And so then they don't have any place anymore. It's an insecurity. They're just afraid to lose you. Now we're not going to be like, oh, they're afraid to lose me. No. Okay? It's not what I'm going to do right now. The 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, that's definitely not what we're doing right now. Okay? It's about they can love you, they can be supportive to you, and if that's all real and all true, beautiful. You know, embrace that. Love it for you. But we gotta see like what is really the truth, and then based on that, we make a decision. Not like this is what I want it to be, this is what they kind of show up as, but I also kind of feel this feeling that is something's off. Okay. Just listen to that. Trust it this month. Aries. I'm sending you lots of love and light and insight for this month, because it's going to be something. But do not be afraid, because once again, like I told you, it's not going to lead you anywhere else but healing and a lot better position in all areas of your life. So I love this for you. All right, Aries, I'm going to stop now. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll be back soon. Mwah. Bye, Aries. Bye.